Let's talk about the toms a little bit in this song. They're kind of a complete mess. Not the playing, but the bleed as well as the source material. Okay. And what I mean by that is let's listen individually. So, all right. So we have, a hit and we have all that bleed. That's just the high tom mic. And if we make it equally the size of the other ones, you can kind of see that there's a lot of bleed, a lot of noise, obviously. But with the actual hits, it's a pretty clean transient and everything. Our mid tom is kind of a mess. Listen to this one in solo. So that's the bleed, and the kick drum just sounds like a wet rug. And even the tom hits are not as clear. So the way that we set the preamp on that was just not a real healthy signal to noise ratio. The low tom is a bit better, but still loads and loads of bleed. So what to do? Do we use a gate? If we look at the toms, they only play at the end. So I actually decided not to use a gate. I decided to come in here and edit them manually. So I'm listening to them in solo, and I'm using tab to transients, which works quite well. This took maybe, 5 minutes. And I'm going to cut out everything that is not my toms, my tom hits. Okay, these are all, and as far as that goes, like the out of it, I don't mind the other toms bleeding in. I'd prefer not, but I think it's okay for this purpose, especially given our other issues. I'm using tab to transients, like I could do it there, but that's my at the next kind of major hit, which is a cymbal and snare. So I'm getting rid of all the stuff that's in between any hit on the toms. And I'm left with, okay, you can hear that little click. We're going to learn what to do with that click. Oh, I forgot to take care of this. What is this? Oh, we have some more tom stuff. I didn't know that, or I didn't pay attention. Let's open this back up and see if we want to save it in any other mics. Looks like we might. Remember that editing audio is non-destructive, so we're not killing ourselves here. Let's just see what happens here. I'm going to go up to the snare drum. Oh, that kick drum, so weird sounding. All right, get that to the snare. Get rid of that. I don't want that. Okay, so let's deal with those clicks and odd edits. So we're going to highlight kind of the last hit, and we're going to highlight the first hit. Make sure that everything is highlighted. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Medium, medium. And now that we have all of these different clips, what we're going to do is a batch fade. Command F. And what this is going to do, by default, it's 20 milliseconds. I'm actually going to make it 10. And we can choose different curves, but I think standard's fine. The clicks are coming either from zero crossing issues or just the abruptness of symbols being cut and whatnot. And by doing a batch fade and hitting OK, it is going to put a very short fade at the end of each clip. All right, at the end and the beginning. So the in and out of each clip. Let's see if that helped us. That one didn't, so we're going to look at that a little bit more. Which one is that? Is it all of them? I can highlight the clips. They're not committed in any way. It's not the high tom. It's the low tom. So we're going to shorten this one. Cleaned it up. Is it the low tom? It's also the low tom. Shorten that one. Okay. So while the fades are just good practice, in this instance, it had more to do with the edit. Okay, now that doesn't sound supernatural on its own, but a couple things that are going to help. Obviously, the overheads, the rest of the drum kit. But also, you know, sending it to reverb is going to give us extension on the sounds. Let's talk about a little bit of EQ that we could do on the toms. Never a bad thing to just look and learn and see what can we learn from presets. Cut boing. We had a lot of boing in that mid tom, that's for sure. Booming? I don't think so. I don't want to raise 130, so I think not. I would prefer, especially on this high tom, the way that it's I'd like to get more of the attack. Sorry, where's my... In fact, I'd like to cut some of my low end. Maybe not that much. Let me boost a little bit. Okay, for ease, I'm going to copy this over, option click, and let's see what that does to my other ones. Man, this middle one, can't really tell if it's even working. Okay, to get more out of the toms, we could also compress. Let's see. I don't want to do everything. Let's try the BF76. It does seem to be giving us a little bit more attack. The other thing we could try, just because they're not popping out, is to get really strange with it and see if we could bring, a very heavy compression, be limiting. Okay, so that's obviously louder. All right, so that's not going to be good at these volume levels, but let's see. All right, and since we don't yet have a reverb in here, I'm going to really just do this quickly for the sake of adding it to the drums to start, or the toms to start. To make my point here, I won't even change the settings, even though I think that is a long reverb time for the moment. Okay, so much happier with the toms. We eliminated all that bleed through quick editing, used attempted transients. We EQ'd for a bit more attack on the drum head, maybe a little bit higher than the 632 that I chose. We went pretty drastic with limiting on the toms to really get them to pop out, and I think it worked. We could probably bring them down in overall volume again. We added reverb. Let's see what the reverb sounds with our edited toms. Okay, this one's a little funky. This one, I might go back and think about my edit and actually fade it a bit more so that it sounds a little more natural. Okay, so tom editing.